Dame is number one.
Notre Dame with a miracle win as the clock
Going
runs out.
in. Notre Dame has scored.
We are back on the Brian Kelly Radio Show, live from Legends of Notre Dame. Coach Kelly is still here, and we are joined by Notre Dame running back Theo Riddick, who on Saturday had his first 100-yard rushing game while a member of the Irish. And it's not that it's necessarily taken this long, but you switched him to slot receiver, and now he's back at running back, and he ran like a power back on Saturday.
He did, and he was such a great teammate to make the change. When we came here, we were short at the wide receiver position, and Theo was a running back. That was his love, but you know, he did what we asked him to do and went to that slot receiver position for us, helped us, and now it's great to get him back at the position that he loves, at that running back position, and it was nice to watch him play on Saturday.
I know I joked with you after the game, and Coach says you've always had this in you, but you ran through some people on Saturday. I mean, is that how you used to run in high school, through people?
A little bit, in the round also, but you know, it wasn't much room to make a lot of people miss. So it was a tough game and it was a grind, so I had to lower the shoulder.
Now, Coach, you have so many talented players on your team, and they're used to being the focus, and then they come and join a team where everybody is used to being the focus, and they can't always be that. What do you say about Theo's patience in terms of maybe not getting as many carries or as many receptions as he would like to, but really never showing any frustration?
Oh, no, he was not happy about it. He's a competitor. I mean, but, you know, he understands it's a team game, and he's going to do what's necessary for the team. But we don't want guys that are happy that they're not getting the football or they're getting their touches. We just had to make sure that we got him in the position where he can help us the most, and that's, you know, we're fortunate enough now that we can get him back into a position where he's playing a little bit of wide receiver, and he's going to be a big impact on us in the passing game, and he can run the football for us too. So we found that natural fit. We wanted to make sure that happened this year in our offense, and it's going to fit him very well.
You know, Coach told the media earlier this year that when you take this job, you have so many things you have to do and so many things that pull you away from your team, and he's cut back on that this year so that he can be more around the team. What have you noticed in terms of the amount of time Coach can spend with you guys and the interaction between Coach and you as players?
I mean, he's always around, and it's very helpful in terms of when we need something, and just advice, you know, savvy. And even if we do something right, he's always there to correct us to make it better. So he just wants us to be the best player we can be.
Now, you're one of 49 players on the watch list for the Paul Hornung Award. Folks, if you haven't heard of that award, it's now in its third year, but it's for the most versatile player in major college football. I would imagine you agree with his nomination.
No question. I think he's going to have a great chance on all those individual awards, but I think he's going to impact our team. And Theo didn't really tell the truth, because the first time he was asked, you know, what's the difference that you've seen this year with Coach Kelly, the first thing is he's not yelling as much. That's really what he said.
That one, too. He's laid back. He's laid back.
Yeah, I'm not laid back, but
in my terms, I would say laid back.
Thank you.
When, you know, we get this a lot, and one of the things that I think Coach has to deal with is I don't know of any other school where they put a coach on, where they put a camera on the coach the whole time. The network games, they don't do it. But when Coach motivates you, when Coach yells at you, I know in my very mediocre and rather disappointing athletic career that ended in high school, but when the coach got on you, if you did something wrong, you wanted to hear about it. How does Coach motivate you and correct you and teach you when something goes wrong on the field?
Well, I mean, he's always there to help. So, I mean, when he does get at you, when you do something wrong, you just have to take it as constructive criticism. And as a player that wants to be the best, you know, player in NCAA, you know, you take that advice and you run with it.
Obviously, Coach, he's come a long way, and he's developed into a guy who's going to do a lot of great things for you this year. But what are the next steps for Theo Riddick right now?
I think consistency. I think, you know, Theo would tell you that one game does not make your career at Notre Dame, and he's in his last opportunity. So, you know, it's taking care of himself physically, as we talked about earlier. Theo came in on Sunday, and he had not felt like that since he's come to Notre Dame. He was sore. He was.
Definitely.
And he's now got to take that next step of taking care of himself, you know, getting the right rest and making sure that he's able to answer the bell every Saturday. Because if he can answer the bell every Saturday the way he did against Navy, the sky's the limit for Theo Riddick.
How much does the ice bath, the ice tub help?
Oh, tremendously, to be honest with you. It does wonders.
But how hard is it to get in there?
And you're all welcome to come in the ice bath at any time.
Oh,
you know.
yeah, you can get the invite, but I don't know how many people are going to go actually in. That's the problem. But it does those wonders, and, it works well.
As I said earlier, we have a packed house here at Legends tonight, and they have a lot of questions for Theo Riddick. So we'll get to those questions right after this timeout. The Brian Kelly Radio Show live from Legends of Notre Dame, presented by your local Ford dealers. We are back on the Brian Kelly Radio Show live from Legends of Notre Dame. And before we get to our questions for Theo Riddick, we would like to remind all Irish fans, if you're looking for the perfect gift for a fellow Notre Dame fan, Notre Dame Collectibles by Steiner Sports brings you hand sign and game used collectibles straight from the Notre Dame locker room. To purchase these certified authentic collectibles, visit steinersports.com or call 1-877-ND-STEINER today. That's steinersports.com or call 1-877-ND-STEINER today. Now, if you're watching at home and you're here in the restaurant and you notice that Coach Kelly's not up here right now, rarely can we ever give the coach a break during the season, but we give him a one-segment break in the show so we can focus on our player guest, which again tonight is Theo Riddick. And here is a question from Robert. I think it's Hammond, and if I mispronounce it, it's because you didn't write it very well. So if you want your name pronounced correctly, please print it clearly. But he's from South Bend, and he would like to know, Theo, where do you feel most comfortable, as a running back or a receiver?
Definitely as a running back. Played it my whole life, and to have the opportunity to play it this year is something that I'm ecstatic about.
But now you're up for a national award as a versatile player. How do you think your experience as a slot receiver and learning how to be a receiver is going to help you both this year and beyond?
Well, I think it's definitely going to help me in terms of me catching the ball, route running, and being able to dictate the defenses. It's going to help me tremendously. And
again, folks, here in Legends, and if you're listening on the radio and you can get to a computer or an iPad or whatnot, an iPhone for this show, if you can't come in, we're showing highlights of Theo's big first 100-yard rushing game on Saturday against Navy, also a couple of touchdowns. Like that play right there, how good does it feel for those of us who have never felt it to fight through that line, break a couple tackles, and get into the end zone?
It feels really good, but it feels good on the aspect of my offensive line because they did such a great job this Saturday or last Saturday, and they do all the moving and all the hard work. I do the easy work, and to see them do well and for all of us to have success is a great thing.
People think, well, the line would get jealous that the running backs get the attention. The line doesn't want the attention.
Not at all. And, that's the route they want to go. But when you do score and you get the chance to look back and hug all those big guys and laugh with them for that split second, it means the world.
Now, Robert would also like to know, how did you end up with the number 6?
I just like the number, to be honest with you. It's nothing in particular.
This is an unsigned question, but it's good. Now, the reason you want to sign it, because if we draw this for the winning signed shirt, you don't get it. So always try to sign your questions next to the word name. That's where we want you to sign it. Theo, can you talk about what it's been like to switch back to running back, your natural position, from wide receiver?
I don't think it's really that much of a transition. Like I said, it's like riding a bike all over again. It took a little bit of time in terms of just the detail-oriented type things, but overall, I don't think it was that much of a transition.
Sean is here from Osceola. He would like to know, Theo, who impressed you the most at the Navy game on your team?
I would have to definitely say Everett. His poise, his calmness was really needed, and especially when he made that one interception. He never really changed. He came back to the sideline and had a great demeanor and led us down the field to get another touchdown.
Now, Robbie Thomas started at wide receiver in the game, so not like he wasn't playing. Definitely. But at the end of the game, when you'd had your carries and George had had his and was a little nicked up, they wanted to run a running back play, and they asked Robbie if he could do it. And there he is, folks. He got into the end zone. It looked like that entire bench got up to greet him on the field.
Oh, yeah, that's like one of my best friends, to be honest with you. And that was just the icing on the cake. And we all went wild.
I love talking to Robbie. He is a unique personality. What is he like?
Oh, man, how should I describe him? I mean, he's really the nicest kid I ever met, to be honest with you. Willing to do anything for others, and he put himself second, and that's the type of person you want on your team.
John Teeples is here from Knoxville, Tennessee. Always a tough question when you're playing for Notre Dame, but he wants to know, when you were very young, what was your favorite college team?
Oh, I think you guys might hate me in here for a little bit, but it was the Miami Hurricanes, to be honest with you. And I don't really know why. They were always on TV, but now that I look at it, I would never, ever, ever, ever pick another place. You know what I'm saying? And it's a great place here, and I don't regret it at all.
So once again, they're going to bring a very good, talented team up to Chicago. You're going to be fired up for that game.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, not just that game, but for every game. You know, every win means something.
That's why I love interviewing Notre Dame players. They're smart. They get the big picture. Jerry Liss is here from South Bend. Where is your favorite place to play a game besides Notre Dame?
To be honest, I don't have a favorite place. You know, as a team, I think we can go anywhere and play. And as an individual, you know, just to have my teammates there and backing us up, that's the only thing that really matters. The setting, we can be in the backyard, you know, really doesn't mean anything.
Greg Westby's here from Portland, Oregon. Theo, you were with 100 fellow young players while in Dublin last weekend. Can you share some of the lighter young adult moments you guys experienced? What was most fun for you?
I would definitely say going to the Dublin Castle. One of my best friends is Irish, so that was one thing I was looking forward to. And, you know, just going there and getting a little bit of history, that was a fun part. That was a really fun part of the trip.
You know, there were a lot of Navy fans there, too, but probably more Notre Dame fans. Were you surprised how it kind of felt like a home game almost?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, we're in Dublin, you know, of course. And the place was very loud, I would say, and the fans were very welcoming.
You know, Coach got asked this again during his press conference after practice today about, you know, possibly you guys being tired after the long flight back over the Atlantic and whatnot. How do you guys feel as compared to maybe a West Coast trip during the season?
Well, I mean, it was definitely a transition. You know, jet lag, we obviously experienced that, but, you know, football is also a mental sport. So you just got to suck it up and, you know, take care of business.
You know, it certainly was a unique experience. I know I had a chance to be at Yankee Stadium a few years ago. That was a very unique experience. Mm-hmm. But one of the big games every year is the home opener. Definitely. Do you personally and as a team, do you feel the same kind of excitement and anticipation this year as you normally do, even though you're coming off one of the more unique Notre Dame football experiences ever?
Oh, yeah, of course. But, you know, the most exciting part is we get to defend our home turf, you know, once again. So we start off 0-0 this year. And this Saturday, you know, we get a chance to make it 1-0.
You know, I think folks that get to do it all the time, or season ticket holders that go to every game, when you step away from here, one of the great opportunities, experiences in sports is to run out of the tunnel at Notre Dame. Irish fans see it every week, so maybe they don't think it's that big a deal. You've been doing it now since you got here. Mm-hmm. What is it like for you? Is it special to run out of that tunnel before a game at Notre Dame Stadium?
It's just unreal. You get the goosebumps automatically, and I don't know. It's just something that strikes you inside, and it's. I feel like there's a ghost right there, and it's like a question that pops up: are you ready to play? You know, and once you run out, you already give that answer, and. You know, like I said, it's surreal, and it's one of the best films in the world.
You know, Coach Kelly has 5 pillars of development on and off the field he wants all players to engage in. One of them is community engagement, and you're wearing a shirt tonight that says Irish Around the Bend. It is a program on this football team for you to go out and engage the community. Talk a little about your experiences in that program.
Well, this year our group went to Pursley, and Pearly, actually, my bad. And it was great to see all those little kids. You know, it kind of struck me back to my childhood, and didn't really grow up much, but just to have, you know, people around you, especially at Notre Dame, and to have our football players there as a role model and people they can look up to and be around them all day long and run around and laugh with them, I thought that was a very special moment this summer.
Folks, what do you think? Up here, bright lights, live, how do you do? I concur. Outstanding job, Theo. Good luck the rest of the season. Thank you for the time tonight.
No problem.
Theo Riddick, everybody. We'll be back to wrap things up and talk about the Purdue game with Coach Kelly in a moment. But first, our final timeout.